gentlemen, welcome back to Anytime Fitness at the Broadway location. I'm here with my beautiful wife, Andrea. She's going to help me out with our Saturday Fun Day workout, okay? We're looking to do this for the next 2 days. I hope you guys are staying safe, or the next 2 Saturdays. Hope you guys are staying safe, staying indoors as best as you can, and doing your part. That's where we come in, trying to give you guys something to do, all right? So the only thing I'm going to require you to have is a deck of cards for this workout, okay? Some of you guys already kind of know this setup if you've trained with me a little bit. Other than that, I'll break it down, make it as simple as possible, okay? We are going to be making sure that we do a warm-up and a cool-down to sandwich this workout, but right now, I will explain a little bit in regards to what the cards entail, okay? So with having a deck of cards, we obviously have 4 suits. We have our clubs, diamonds, hearts, and spades, okay? I have designated a workout based upon your level of degree of difficulty, beginner, intermediate, and advanced. Now you can mix and match, all right? It doesn't have to be beginner, it has to be in the subset. These are just workouts for these suits, okay? We will go through these individually. Now the way this ties into the cards is, I take my deck of cards. I can do this with a partner, or I can do this by myself. The one thing that if I do a partner is, if I guess, I pop it open, we share the deck together. Boom, my turn, I go. 7 of clubs, boom, 7 sit-ups, okay? I complete the sit-ups, next partner goes, okay? If you want to do the deck of cards the entirety, beautiful, sounds fantastic. If you want to have a kind of like a stopping point, what I have done is the Queen of Spades will be my stop. What that means is I take the Queen of Spades, I would give it to Andrea, and I'd say, Andrea, okay, go ahead and put it wherever you want. Boom, I shuffle, 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 and then we start. As soon as the Queen of Spades reveals herself, you are done with the workout, okay? That can be your saving grace escape hatch. But that's all up to you. If if I pulled the second card and it's the Queen of Spades, I'm sure you're gonna say, let's reshuffle, okay? So it's all based upon what you wanna do. That being said, we are gonna hop into our warm-up first. So, my assistant is gonna go ahead and get down in position for the Crescent runner stretch, okay? We've already done this a little bit in the beginning of these workouts, but I'm gonna have my wife explain a little bit of what she's doing. So you have your hands in what position?
So my left or outside hand on this side is directly underneath of that shoulder blade to give yourself ultimate stability. Also my right my right stabilizing leg, the knee is directly over my ankle as well. Nice and straight, hips are level here.
Okay, and so she's going to then reach underneath, open up, and then reach underneath across her body, okay? What are you trying to stay focused with those hips?
Making sure they stay level throughout this. You don't want them to be swinging. The twist should be coming from your midsection. So making sure your hips stay level throughout this. The bottom half should not be moving at all. The rotation is coming from that middle spine section there throughout this whole movement.
So so essentially what you're saying is that left hip shouldn't be dipping if you open up?
Correct.
Okay, okay. Beautiful. All right, fantastic. So then that's going to be for 10 each side alternating. And then we're going to go into down dog plank position, okay? So Andrea's going to get in her down dog position. And Andrea, explain a little bit about the down dog position.
So your feet are about hip width, maybe a teeny bit wider. Also my hands are about shoulder width. For myself, I've got wide shoulders, so I like to go just a little bit wider. So if you get any uncomfortability in your shoulders, you can widen those hands. Basically, you want to tilt your pelvis up so you're bringing your tailbone to the ceiling. Also, some people when they get in this position will kind of just let their shoulders sink back. So their shoulders are up in their ears. That's not what you want. So to help me, think of rotating the inside or the eye of your elbow forward. So when you do that, you're actually rotating your shoulder blades down your back. So you want to pull those shoulders away from your ears and down your back.
Okay. And then from this transition, she's going to actually go into a plank position and back into down dog. Here's the transitions that you're going to do for 12 reps. Now, Andrew, can you face the camera and kind of show how you're opening that eye of your arms to get that nice wide shoulder?
So again, don't let your arms just rotate where those shoulders go back into your ears. Rotate your arms forward and keep those shoulder blades nice and pulled down your back.
Now the flexibility here is very prominent. She is very flexible. She's been practicing yoga for a very long time, so I understand. But myself, I would not be able to get in this position, so this is definitely something you want to go based upon comfortability and what you can accomplish. But same principles are in line. She's making sure that she's keeping her shoulders wide and those elbow eyes facing forward as best as she can. So, all right, thank you very much, Andrea. All right, so we are going to get into the meat and potatoes of the workout, okay? So we are going to go ahead and start with spades. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through every single spade from beginner, intermediate to advanced. And again, when I do this and I flip the card, I can mix and match. Say I want to do squats, diamond push-ups, I want to do jumping jacks, and I want to do V-ups. I can mix and match to make my workout. Now make sure to write these down and with the appropriate, so you don't have to keep on keeping this mug on your screen, okay? So that being said, we're gonna go through the squats first, all of these spades. So Andrea's gonna go ahead and get set in her squat position and head up, chest up, shoulders back, and perform about 2 or 3. Good. Keeping your head and chest, shoulders back, basically with our squats. We can get below parallel if we want. The goal is to at least get to parallel, okay? Beautiful. Now, we are going to go right into jumping squats. Now, with jumping squats, this is something that it's based on your comfortability. Andrea is jumping from her heels as she drives up, and her toes are pointing. She's not jumping on her toes, otherwise she'd be moving forward with every single jump, okay? She throws her hands back. This helps with her posture, keeping her head and chest up and shoulders back. You do not need to do that if you feel like your posture is good. I advise that you do. It just kind of helps me keep everything greased and going correctly. Then we're going to do jump lunges. Now with jump lunges, each leg is going to count as, each leg together will count as 1 rep. So she's going to do a left and a right, boom. Then she's going, that is 1 rep, okay? So again, she is giving her heads up, chest up, making sure that right angle in her lead leg is present, okay? Beautiful, thank you, Andrea. So now that is our squat and our spades, okay? Those are gonna be firing our legs. Now we're gonna go into the diamonds, which we're gonna start with a classic push-up. Head up, chest up, good plank position, good and good. Now again, you can go down, you wanna go to a place of comfortability. If this becomes a little too difficult, Andrea can go to her knees and perform her push-ups, making sure that her hips aren't completely back. They are still kind of in, not all the way through, but in nonetheless. Now, from there, we're gonna go to our diamond push-ups for the intermediate. So, Andrea is gonna create a diamond shape with her hands, pushing that onto the ground. Her elbows are gonna be facing back. This is gonna be a tricep and chest predominant movement. So she's getting that plank position, good, good. And she's giving me 1 more. Good. Again, if this becomes too difficult, you can always go to your knees, but keeping that same thing, and you don't have to go back to the beginner and say, I'm going to do push-ups. I can do diamond on my knees. It does work a different part of my arms and my chest. So then the advanced version, I'm going to have us do some decline push-ups. Now this can be as simple usage as a chair. Andrea's going to put her feet on the chair. Now, notice she doesn't have her hips sagging. They are up. They're in line, okay? We don't want our hips sagging. That's going to put tremendous pressure on my shoulders here, okay? So Andrew's going to create, and 1, 2, good. There's our decline push-ups, okay? Those are going to be obviously for the step-up advance. Now, we're going to get into our plyometric version of this, okay? We're going to start moving a little bit of muscle groups. Beginner for the hearts. We want to get our heart rate going, so these are what these are going to be doing. I'm going to have her perform a jumping jack. Now, she's standing in a neutral position, hands at her side, feet together. I'm sure back to the kindergarten days, we all know how to do jumping jacks. So she's going to open star, bring it together. Good. Good, good. Staying on her toes, not coming down on her heels and jarring her joints. She's staying nice and buoyant, soft bend in her knees, and continuing to do the entire motion, okay? After that, she's going to get into intermediate will be the burpees, okay? So she's gonna face me, she's gonna bring her hands to the floor, and fire her feet back. Now notice she is not dipping her hips in. She's not sagging her hips down, okay? She's keeping a nice form. She's gonna bring her feet back, come up, boom, raising her hands high as a jump. This allows me to keep my posture up. A lot of people, when they start doing burpees and they get winded and tired, they eventually will just do a burpee and keep their shoulders just trying to get the movement over. This, I can have a clap, I can do whatever. Key is keeping my posture up and continuing and finishing out the full rep, okay? Now, the advanced version. Disclaimer, please do not do this on hardwood floors with socks on, okay? Because we are gonna add a jump onto the burpee, okay? Now, with that being said, I wanna try to find something that's a little bit sturdier than a chair. Unless you feel comfortable with a chair and the height of it, that is up to you. I do advise that you find maybe a stair, something that is more concrete, it's not gonna move out on you. And you yourself, I like to make sure that I have grips on my feet, so that's why I would say socks. Socks are a no-go, and I want to have my bare feet. So for this example, I'm going to create a stair for her with this box. Okay, so Andrea's going to create a burpee like we had just done, throwing my feet back, coming up, landing softly on the stair. She's going to take a step down and repeat the movement. Boom, and one more, please. And good. So those are our workouts, and you can put those in and mix them at any fashion that you want going through the car, okay? Thank you. We have one more final. Okay? We're gonna work on our abdominals here, okay? So, first is gonna be crunches, okay? This is crunches or sit-ups, okay? Crunches are going to be performed by pulling your chest, heart center forward, and crunching your stomach. Don't think of crunching your shoulder blades forward and bringing that head. You notice Andrea's putting her hands across her shoulders to negate pulling on that, crimping on that neck. A lot of people, they misconstrue when they do crunches, they're pulling on their head, they're pulling on your neck. You're going to have a whole different type of issue if you do it that way. Now, if you're fine with negating crunches and going right into sit-ups, I'm gonna find a couch. I'm gonna be her couch for this scenario. I'm gonna hold her feet, or a partner can hold her feet, and she's gonna create sit-ups. Again, leading with her chest up. Good. Then, intermediate is gonna be leg lifts. Now, a couple of us have some back issues. I know that I can attest to sometimes my back doesn't feel the best, and so what I try to do whenever that happens is I put my hands just underneath my glutes. This kind of helps relieve some of the pressure. Now I'm trying to make sure that I keep my lower back tied to the mat or the floor when I'm doing this, so that I don't have that pelvic tilt too much to create more tension on my back. So Andrea's gonna have her feet up and leg lifts. Good. Now, she's going to a place where her back feels it's starting to come off. The moment it starts to come off, that's as low as I want to go, okay? I do not want to lean into that lower back coming off. If it's only to here, then that's where it is. If it's only to even here, that's where it is. Be mindful of your body and the way that you do this. Do not be an at-home hero with these. The last one is going to be, for the advanced version, is V-ups. And we already did V-ups earlier this week, but Andrea's gonna have her feet up. Good. She's gonna perform a sit-up, reaching for those toes with her heart center, again, leaning forward, okay? Boom, good, thank you, Andrea. So, now our workout's done, okay? After we get through the cards, we go through. We can, again, when I do these with the cards, I can do a tit for tat, you go, I go, you go, I go, or I could just sit there and flip the cards, take a handful, however I feel comfortable with doing it, okay? And so after that, we're gonna cool down, all right? We're gonna do some stretches. Now, we're gonna start with the twisted cross stretch. I'm gonna have Andrea face the camera. She's gonna lie on her stomach. She's gonna reach her right arm out, and she's gonna load up this left arm to push. Now notice, she's not throwing that leg over and reaching with the leg. She's putting it right behind her glute. Andrea, what are you focusing on when you're doing this?
So it all depends on your level of flexibility here, but most importantly, you want to make sure that your palm is faced down and in line with that the extended arm is in line with your shoulder. When you're going over, you might not be able to get your foot all the way across, even just a little bit of a push with your hips lying on top of each other. If you have the extended range of motion, the extra flexibility, you can pull that leg all the way over and plant the foot. I like to use my left hand to kind of push myself a little bit deeper. If, again, you have extra flexibility, you can reach this arm back and eventually reach for that hand. I can't even quite make the connection at the moment, but eventually, even just sitting here is really good for this front shoulder opening.
Beautiful. And so this is going to be performed each side for 1 minute, okay? Anything they need to focus on with that lower back specifically? Other than keeping it, you're opening yourself up right here, but is there anything you're trying to make sure that you don't go too much?
I mean, you don't want to twist your hips too much. If you end up just kind of like flailing this leg back, you're more doing a twist from your side. Kind of keeping it a little bit more square and a little bit more neutral is allowing you to focus on your shoulder.
Beautiful. Okay, so now that that's done, you're going to do 1 minute each side again, and we're going to go into our next stretch. That is going to be child pose lat stretch. So Andrea's going to get in her child pose position. Where should my knees be in this position? So
this all depends on your hip flexibility, which your next stretch will focus on the hips. So if your hips are really open, you can do a traditional child's pose, as in your toes are together and your knees are wide, even the width of like a standard mat. But if your hips aren't that open, I suggest starting with them a little bit more narrow or even together. But you're sitting on your feet if that's comfortable. My heels pop out just a little bit to the side, but I'm sitting on the base of my feet here. And then make sure your hips are pushing back, making contact with those, with your legs. And then you're fully extending your arms. And then to get that side lat stretch, you're just gonna nice and slowly, I just go hand to hand, walk to either side until you start to feel a nice, easy stretch right all the way running down. You'll feel it right in your lap. And then to get a little bit deeper without pushing too far, you can take this inside hand and put it on top of your outside hand and sit here. The really important thing is I'm not letting my hips follow through, because then that's kind of defeating the whole purpose of the stretch. So you're really driving especially this hip that's reaching across back into space. So you're essentially keeping your hips level throughout this, nice and square.
Very good, yeah. And so Andrea is going to perform that for 1 minute each side, holding this position, keeping nice and square, getting that nice pull in that serratus that she was just talking about. So next is going to be a pike stretch. Now Andrea's going to move the mat. We are going to come at this at a different angle. We've already, again, this is the last two stretches are stretches that we have performed earlier in this week, but we will go over them again. Andrea's going to have her feet straight out in front of her together, and she is going to have her chest up, shoulders back, good, and reach forward for her toes. Now, she's moving forward again with her chest, not her shoulders, with her chest up. Now, if I'm very, very immobile, what's something that I can kind of do?
You can reach for any part of your legs. If the farthest you can go is here, you can put your hands on your shins, you can go to your ankles, you can go to your foot. If you're really flexible and you have something at home, a lot of yogis will actually put a block behind them and hold the block to get even deeper, but it all depends on your flexibility level.
And then would a micro bend help?
Yeah, if you're feeling really tight, just a tiny slight micro bend, you might not even be able to see it. I'm just barely bringing my legs up and flexing my feet is just going to provide a little bit of extra relief as you're going forward.
Okay, awesome. So she's going to hold that position, a comfortable position, for 2 minutes, or as best as I can to get to 2 minutes, okay? After that is going to be frog stretch. Okay, so Andrea is going to get on her mat, facing the camera. She's going to widen her hips out with her, see, as she's not doing this with her weight back, she's doing it with her weight forward, so that once she gets in this position, she can push her hips back. Now this is going to open up my groin and my inner thighs and make sure that it makes it feel, especially after doing some of the trials that we did with the burpees and the lunges and the squats, what have you, this is going to feel phenomenal on some of that relief and that tension. So This is going to be expected to do for 2 minutes. Again, this is a comfortability challenge as well as a time challenge. So you go to a place of comfortability. A little bit of uncomfortability is okay, but don't push yourself past your own comfort levels. So that's it, and thank you so much. Boom. Have a great day, guys. See ya.